Youth of Purpose.
Hello, welcome to Youth of Purpose, a show that is here to give you a platform as a young person to be able to contribute to this country's development and also be able to understand issues of national importance. My name is Ivan Tumukonde. Welcome to the show. Every 21st of September, we celebrate International Day of Peace. And the same this year, we are celebrating this day, very, very important day. And the whole of this week, we're celebrating peace and promotion of peace in the whole world. Now, today, as Youth of Purpose, we are trying to give a platform to young people to also be able to contribute and give us the opinion on what they understand by peace and what's their role in as far as its promotion is concerned. And to start with, my guest, very knowledgeable. Hello, welcome to Youth of Purpose.
Thank you.
Kindly say hello to the viewer.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be on the show. Thanks for hosting me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Your good name?
My name is Kanyorecho Peace, a proud peace ambassador.
Wow.
Yes.
So, peace. First of all, what does peace mean to you? When someone starts talking about peace, how do you feel? And to be specific, celebrating the International Day of Peace, what does all this mean to you?
Yeah. Thank you. According to me, peace, according to me as an individual, peace means stability. Everything being stable is things moving on right. Once everything is right,
Yes.
health-wise, financially, academically, then globally. Wherever there is war, poverty, and all others that we mentioned, those are the things that distract people's peace. So we don't expect to have peace when there is war in a country or in a given area. When there is poverty, of course, you can't be poor. Though some people say they are, even if they are poor, they are okay and they have peace. As long, because people normally say
they can be poor and happy.
Yeah, as long as I'm happy, even I'm poor, but even as long as I'm happy, it's okay. According to me, no one is poor and is happy. Doesn't exist.
Okay.
So for one to have peace, of course, you have to have at least 50% of what contributes towards peace.
Celebrating the International Day of Peace, what does this day mean to you?
This day brings back the memory of, according to me, each time we celebrate a peace day, I always echo back on how people suffered. Personally, I've never suffered that much, but at least when I was growing up, I used to hear of the war that took place in Gulu. And I used to read newspapers on how people used to suffer, really. So when I say that the world has come out to celebrate Peace Day, I first look back and I say, do we still have the same thing in Gulu? No. So Uganda is having stability in that way. Other countries, the same thing. So celebrating this, according to me, I look at how those people who are affected in war, and this reminds them that they need to have peace in their country.
Wow. As a girl child, first of all, what are some of those things that you think do affect the peace of a girl child and in the perspective of a woman?
As a girl child, I'm out of experience. Domestic violence, child dropout, early marriages, of course, poverty. Those are things I look at and I say, these things really affect a girl child and also as women. Because you will end up doing something that you would not do because you are not at peace. You don't have stability. You are not stable. Okay, you could be stable. Well, how can I say? You could be stable outwards, but inside you don't have peace. Yes, there's an empty space. I could be here smiling at everyone, but inside me there's something that is demanding. At home, maybe probably I don't have tuition, and I know my parents don't have money to pay. So inside me, I don't have peace. I'm not stable. I'm not 100% contented. So something is I'm not satisfied. So something is missing. So financial, lack of finances, that is poverty. Then domestic violence. Domestic violence, I mean, I'm sure, I mean, we are all in Uganda where we know of girls who get married at a tender age, very young. So they experience domestic violence because they were not ready for what they are going through right now. Yeah. Probably if they had been prepared for what they are in now, they would be having solutions to what they are in now. But right now, they don't have solutions to what they are in. And that's why they are going through domestic violence and torture. You find, I'll give an example of recently, if we don't mind, let me use an example of, there's a video that circulated recently of a lady who was
beating the
a baby. Was it
baby.
2 years? Eh?
Yes.
So according to her story, she did it because the father of the girl had done what? Had abandoned her.
And she had been raped.
Now imagine, you can't tell me such a person had peace. By the time she reached to a point of hurting
her own
baby. And you know, as mothers love our children very much. But as who saw the video, we really saw that she had tortured the baby to the extreme point of it. So now just imagine what she went through. So psychologically, she didn't have peace. Then also because of what she was going through. And I'm sure maybe she wasn't even ready to go in for that marriage. But maybe because now she had gotten this pregnancy, and now, so she had no solution to that.
Wow.
So she didn't have peace at all. And then, so that is the domestic violence and sexual harassment that I'm talking about. That is also part of, it contributes to people's lack of peace. Like, one can't have peace when we are looking at all that.
So first of all the issues that you're bringing about are very, very crucial issues that should be handled. But they all come to one thing. You've talked about child marriages, you've talked about domestic violence, and you've talked about school dropouts. So first of all, when people are poor, there is going to be domestic violence. First of all, if there is a man, that means he cannot be able to provide fully for his family. And then there is going to be violence. When a family doesn't have enough finances, they are not going to be able to take their children to school. And the moment the children stay at home, what other solution is there? They have to be married off for the family to be able to survive. So the root cause of all that comes back to the issue of poverty. How do you think young women can be empowered to be financially stable such that we take away the insecurity of poverty?
As a peace ambassador, can say nowadays we have this, there's a slogan that I normally hear of tetuchali kusente za kamenza, like we are no longer waiting for men to give us money. So that slogan pushes women to go look for something. Normally in the morning as I was coming, some lady was asking for was asking money from some gentleman, and the gentleman told her that sente ziwula today. So what do I mean by I copied something? So when you ask me that, I've remembered that is that I think everyone, this is the time that everyone should utilize whatever opportunity he or she gets, and also do whatever he or she can to see that he or she is out of poverty. I mean, we're not going to wait for the government to come and put us out of poverty, because the government is not going to come and single me out, because they don't even know whether I exist or not. They don't know whether you exist or you don't. So it's you as an individual to come out and say, okay, I'm tired of poverty. I think it's high time I should do something. For instance, an example is if I was a single mother, okay, let's assume I'm a single mother, and maybe I'm I'm tired of the poverty I'm going through. Of course, in case I'm not educated, because most people say I'm not educated. So in case you're not educated, at least you try to find out which job can I do. Nowadays people do washing clothes. They wash clothes around the communities. We have things to do with technical, is it vocational, where people do tailoring, and so at least try to learn something that will put you out of poverty. Otherwise, when you keep waiting, then you will wait and wait. So at least learn something that will...
Hands-on skills.
Yeah, hands-on skills. Yeah? Then also, we have a small scale businesses. Ladies, we see, I normally, inside me, I always feel touched when I see a mother or a lady or a girl carrying a basket of banana, selling something. Even if I don't want to buy, I'm going to buy from her. Reason being, I'm supporting her. Like, because I know by the time she's doing it, she wants to survive, and behind her, there are people who are depending on her. So when I support her, even if I wasn't hungry and I support her, I'm trying to help her go and feed the people at home. Amazing. So I can encourage all other people, at least find something that can keep you out of that poverty.
Okay, thank you so much, Peace, for speaking to us. I do believe you have been able to learn from what Peace has been talking about and what you can be able to do as a young person. We'll be right back.
Youth of Purpose.
Welcome back. So for any country to have sustainable development, first of all, there must be presence of peace. It doesn't matter how much capital you're going to be having, or the big number of population. If there is no security, there's not going to be any development. And that we can be able to see with many examples of countries that have had instability for long here in Africa. For example, look at Somalia. They have great resources, but they are not developing as they should be as a country. Look at DR Congo, the same. They have resources, but they are not developing. But at the same time, you can see how insecurity affected the development of the people. For example, in the North and West Nile, because of the over 20 years of Joseph Kony. So basically, where there is insecurity, it will be very, very hard for people to concentrate on developing themselves. And that's because of what the other aspects of life that, for example, war brings about. Your people cannot be able to get good and quality education when there is war. First of all, families cannot be stable to be able to grow because of war. And therefore, we all need peace. And that gives us enough reason to celebrate the International Day of Peace, which is always celebrated on 21st of September. And again, right here, I have a gentleman who is also knowledgeable, and he's an activist in as far as youth engaging themselves in promoting peace is concerned. Stuart, welcome to Youth of Purpose.
Thank you. Thank
Amazing.
you for hosting me.
Great. What does the International Day of Peace mean to you as a young person?
As a young person, whenever it reaches September, and I'm thinking of 21st of September, the day we commemorate International Day of Peace worldwide, not only here in Uganda. I think of, as a young person, what can I do to contribute to the existence of peace that I know that everyone outside there is yearning to enjoy, because where there is no peace, as you earlier said, then nothing you can cherish. So when I think of 21st September, the day of commemorating peace, I think of my role as a young person and youth around the globe, what we can contribute towards peace building.
What does peace mean to you?
Peace is the existence of a conducive environment where an autonomous individual can exercise his free will. That is enjoying the human rights and being in a just society where you know you're free and you have freedom. When I talk of freedom, I mean even the free will of free mind, that you feel like your mind is at peace. So holistically, that's how I can describe peace.
How are you as peace ambassadors promoting peace in your communities but also at the national level?
Yes, good question. As a peace ambassador and an activist of peace, yes, I will say that we are doing a lot, but you know, if you talk of an ambassador, as you said, peace ambassador, some young people out there may get scared that ambassador, this is a big people,
Yeah.
that in communities. But what I can first say is that we peace ambassadors, we are young people that chose, that appreciated peace, the need for existence of peace, and the role as young people, the role we can play as young people in promoting peace. And then we took a role of being on the front. And now as peace ambassadors, we've been in communities majorly since I got much into advocacy about peace and engaging young people in peace. We've been in communities. Majorly so far we have moved in slum areas of Kampala, in all the divisions that make up Kampala. Those are five
what do you do
divisions.
when you go to the slums?
So when we go to the slums, we reach out to young people. We bring them to board to appreciate their role in promoting peace, and more so changing their mindset about peace promotion. Because as you know that we young people, the community, there is a perception that our community usually pose that sometimes it's unfair to us young people, and yes, that we contribute negatively to peace. We are the one that are engaged in riots. We are the one that are engaged in theft and robberies. Yes, it may be partly true that some of our people in slums have some
Violent, or
yes, sometimes they become violent,
maybe
sometimes
because of
they
the
engage,
environment.
yes,
Yeah.
because of environment they live in. Some take the other side, so we get them from what they have been doing. If someone has been actively engaging in organizing riots, in theft, so we engage them to take the positive route by mindset change. We encourage them that yeah, you can, instead of doing this, you can do this and earn your own money peacefully. And then yes, you can preach to your colleagues that actually they can also live this way of life and be here and be a better person. So by that, I believe we are contributing to peace building and building the stronger foundation of our generation and the generations to come for the existence of peace.
What are some of the barriers that do challenge young people who are involved in promoting peace?
Yes, the question of barriers, that I will say that we have a lot of barriers. To talk of those who are advocating, and even the youth that are out there that are doing anything that concerns promotion of peace. Because at first I will say that whereas we have done much, less has been appreciated. we are really given audience for our work that we do, and yet we believe that the work that we are doing our best to contribute toward the cause. So we believe that if we had the exposure for our voices and our actions that we do in communities in promotion of peace, then our work would have been much easier than how it is now.
You've said you're engaging young people in
Yes.
slums.
Yes.
Why do you think some young people get involved in violence?
Some of young people get involved in violence. One, it's because of the nature of the environment they are in.
Okay. Two?
And of course, the nature of environment puts them in a position to be exploited by people that usually engage them in the slum.
Environment, exploitation.
Exploitation.
Three?
Three, then our poverty. The poverty that is in. Because you hear say that, people get involved in the Uganda what they call it. Sometimes people reach at the extent in the hour. So
Someone saying,
yes,
I got
nothing to lose. I have nothing to lose. So if it means going to streets, I'm ready. But they are just moving and they don't know why they are doing this, that, beyond that.
That's a very dangerous population.
Yes. Then more, we move by bandwagon as young people. We are not yet well prepared. And when I see you, Mr. Ivan, moving, and I was just there redundant, I just move.
Thank you so much, Stuart, for speaking to us. And I believe the viewers have been able to learn a thing or two from the conversation we've had. We're going to be listening into a few more young people to tell us what they understand by peace, the role that they can play as the young people, and the mechanisms they think can help the young people to play their role. We'll be right back.
Youth of Purpose.
Nasuna Karo. To me, peace, if I would say that peace is giving respect to one another. Because if you give respect to one another, that means you're promoting peace in a community. If there is no respect, so peace cannot be promoted. We as young people, they should engage us in different activities. Let me say, like amplifying voices. Because voices is one of the most powerful things a youth can use. Most youths have nothing to do, had nothing to do, and they could be stealing. That could promote a lot of conflicts in communities.
Hello to all of you. My name is Daniel Omara. I'm a youth peace ambassador. Peace would be an aspect of freedom from any type of disturbance in any society. I'm going to construct my definition of peace from the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. Article 23 gives us the right to personal liberty. And if someone has liberty, that means the person is in peace. That is one aspect of peace. Secondly, if we are to look at Article 21 Clause 2 of the Constitution, it gives us the freedom of discrimination. So if you find you have a freedom from being discriminated based on race, religion, sex, you find that there is peace according to you. And of course, in the different communities as youth, we have tried so hard to promote peace. For instance, we are able to act as mediators in the different challenges that come forth in the different community. I come from one of the ghettos, that is Banda, but in our ghetto we have been able to come up with projects that are able to promote peace. For instance, we have an initiative, we have called it Space Media. Here, our main aim is to come up and we talk about what are some of the things that cause the disruption of peace, like gender-based violence, drug abuse, and purposely, as youth, one thing I'm going to say is we have brought in place a lot of mechanisms that help to promote peace. One, we are able to work hand in hand with the different community leaders in ensuring that we promote peace in our different communities. We have come with different strategies. For example, we have sports, we have games. In that, all these things, we are trying to bring youth together as a way of promoting peace amongst them, though we have faced a number of challenges. For instance, mindless of these different approaches we have brought on ground, some of the youth are not ready to accept some of these approaches. So those are some of the challenges that we have faced. And then we have realized that a lot of youth are having a lot of projects that help to promote peace, but the challenge is they are not being supported. There is no support. Youth have proposals, they have projects they are building up, but the challenge is that the financial aspect is not. And if I'm to bring the aspect of resources, I don't only want to base on resources, but then let's look at the human capital. Let the youth be empowered, let them be sensitized, and let them be given some of the training as a way to help them promote peace in the different communities that we are looking at. I'm going to end by saying all youth have the right to build peace, and all youth are part of the building, I mean the peace building process. And my last message goes to our government. Let us ensure that we bring an aspect that will give a chance to the youth to come on ground and promote peace in the different communities. Thank you all so much.
Well, that's all we had for you today on Youth of Purpose. I hope this show has benefited you and you have not remained the same. What you should be able to understand is that where there is insecurity, we are the end losers. It doesn't matter who the cause of the insecurity is, but if we allow insecurity to happen, then we become the end losers. And therefore, we should do whatever it takes to protect the peace that we have. But even where there is violence and insecurity, we should do everything it takes to make sure that we promote the peace that is needed to be there. The moment there is insecurity, you lose as a generation. For example, when you look at those places where there is insecurity and a whole generation cannot be able to develop themselves economically, socially, that means a whole generation can be lost just because of insecurity. And therefore, let's focus on those things that help us to be able to have peace. And where there is violence, be the agent of peace and be able to help people to promote peace and have the, conflict resolution mechanisms that can help you be the agent of peace in your community. I thank you so much for watching this show. See you next time. Peace.
Youth of Purpose.